go, brr, it's fall now. No, it isn't. It's still Epstein summer on the Tower Show. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, we're
Woo!
back. Woo! We just did Labor Day weekend. Summer just went like this. As the wise philosopher Taylor Swift once sang, August slipped away like a bottle of wine or a bucket of wine, W-H-I-N-E. If you're MAGA, hey, what's up, Devlin?
What's up? I don't know.
What
I'm tired.
up?
I'm exhausted.
You're tired. We're all.
I'm all right.
Only...
I'm just sick. I feel like I'm getting sick, but that's okay.
No, we gotta hang.
I'm tired.
No, gotta hang in. My whole body hurts because I marched yesterday. We were all in the streets yesterday. Not that the media ever would pay attention to something important like that, but there were 1,000 workers over billionaire no kings marches in the United States of America yesterday, and I participated here in Portland. And I'm waiting. One of my followers has a video of my speech, but I haven't received it yet. But it was well received. I was very happy to say. I'm happy to say that I went last. I was like, "Let's go, fired up, and and blah blah blah." And I did the poem that I read on the show last week, "Pity the Nation," and people were moved. And they came up to me and they said, "Thank you, you were great." And I said, "Thank you so much." And we marched and we took over the Burnside Bridge,
and we made love, and we.
I did not. With my heart, I created love, but if you want to talk about it like that, in the most like,
we made love,
unique. In just like the meaning of the word love, we created strength and force and energy, and we marched and we chanted and we sang. There's a marching band with a brass band, and we took over the Burnside Bridge, and we were looking over the overpasses and down on the roads. People were honking their horns and waving. There was great energy and spirit here, and the mainstream media is talking about. I looked it up. And actually I put it on my Substack today. The mainstream media, I saw CBS covered some Japanese billionaire, octogenarian billionaire got swindled by someone pretending to be an astronaut. That's an important story. Ooh. And then ABC pushing the propaganda that about gun violence in Chicago. Helpful.
Oh, really?
Thanks so much.
Are they really? Wow.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Typical.
And then, what did I forget what I put? For NBC also had something really just innocuous that they covered.
Though.
Why cover millions of Americans in the street pushing back against an illegitimate regime that's trying to kill all of us? Why bother?
Exactly.
Why bother doing that?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I'm saying no. That's what they're doing. That's what the media is doing.
I know. We are also keeping an eye on the alleged announcement that's supposed to be coming from the Oval Office. You're keeping an eye on a live feed somewhere, right? Ma'am.
Me? Who am I?
You.
What am I? The eyes and ears of the Tower Show here? Yeah, I'll do.
I
only have hands. I have 2 hands, and I know,
but
eyes.
You also are in. You're in control of all the.
We
tech,
could all look, and I got a lot of fucking shit to look at. So
actually, maybe we'll get some. If someone in the chat wants to keep an eye, you want to be the official monitor.
It's fine.
On the Trump announcement.
I'm not as enthused as you are for a.
It's not enthusiasm. No. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy distraction because Congress is back in recess today, and tomorrow the Epstein survivors, 10 of them, are having a press conference, and they are going to be joined not just by a Democratic rep, Ro Khanna, but they will be joined by a representative from the Republican Party, Thomas Massie, who's been all over the Epstein file story. Oh, yeah. He's been all over this Epstein file story all along, really, which is interesting because Massie was election denier and January 6th and was like Trump all the way. And then all of a sudden,
I'm a little sus about this whole thing.
We're all a little sus about everything they do. But if there is a Republican standing up saying we're going to release these Epstein files come hell or high water, and we're going to have these survivors speak about their experiences. I mean, this is a very big step forward in the Epstein files story because getting survivor testimony is a really big component of this, I think, for the American court of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There is the conversation that we had with my Senator Ron Wyden a couple of weeks ago that focuses on the Russian funneling of money to the sex trafficking operation and all those wire transfers between Russians and Epstein's bank accounts. I think that's the thing that's ultimately is the more, is the thing that might get him legally, kind of like in the Al Capone way. But in the court of public opinion, listening to survivors, 10 survivors in a row, repeatedly tell the same story about being groomed by Ghislaine Maxwell and raped by Epstein, and hopefully, not hopefully, but I mean, someone on the 1 in 10, at least the odds are, if there's 10 of them, at least one of them was also raped by Trump. So we're going to get information that Trump doesn't want us to get, which is why he's scheduled this distraction of an announcement from the Oval Office. Mm-hmm. So we were talking before the show started, maybe he's invading Venezuela. Maybe, as the Guardian reported, it might have something to do with Space Force, which is incredibly important right now. But a judge just ruled that his use of the National Guard to invade Los Angeles was unconstitutional, even as he's attempting to try it with other cities. Mm-hmm. So maybe he's going to announce that he's invading Chicago. But I mean, it's also, we would love to believe that he's resigning because he's sick. And that I don't think it is, because he wouldn't relinquish power that easily. But I mean, all weekend long, people were playing the Where's Papa game, because MAGA kept recycling old footage of him playing golf elsewhere. An old photo of him playing golf with John Gruden in Mar-a-Lago was passed off as him playing golf that day in Virginia. But guess what? There are no palm trees in Virginia, MAGA, so that gave you away. And then there was just like the pictures of him leaving the White House with his granddaughter, Kai, who is Junior's daughter, who kind of looks Ivanka-ish. Not great optics, by the way. While you're trying to distract from the Epstein files, don't be photographed with a teenager. Just don't. Not even one related to you.
Granddaughter, even though I'm sure he's got the hots for her too. So
gross. I mean, if he wanted to bang his own daughter and talked about Tiffany's breasts when she was a newborn,
isn't he disgusting? Isn't she a piece of ass? Like when Howard Stern started talking about her, your daughter, what a piece of ass. And he really was like jumping in full bore there.
Talking about her body, what a great body, and if she wasn't my daughter, perhaps.
Could you imagine? Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to imagine my father talking about me or my sister like that. It's like
my father did.
Disgusting. Talked about you.
My father did.
Ugh. Well, that's disgusting.
In front of me, publicly, to two men.
What?
He once said,
that's
yes.
Very.
He once. So my father, if you want to get the 2-second description of my father, and I haven't spoken to my father in 22 years. Imagine if Donald Trump was a truck driver in Jersey in the 70s and 80s. That's my father. So narcissistic personality disorder, chip on his shoulder, everything happened to him. It's not his fault, la la la, verbally abusive, all of those things. And when I was in college and I came home, my father, we moved to Atlanta when I was in college and had to transfer to the University of Georgia. And he opened up a bagel restaurant with this other guy. And I walked in one day to help. I would come home sometimes on the weekends, and on my holidays, I would have to work in the restaurant. And one time I walked in, I don't remember what I was wearing, but it doesn't matter. His partner said to me, "Tara, looking good." And my father said, "Isn't she built like a brick shit house?" And I was just like, ew.
Wow.
Ew.
That is not right. That's fucked up.
It's not. It is not. It's one thing to say I'm very proud of my daughter. It's another thing to say, isn't she built like someone you want to bang? No.
What would somebody's friend would say that to their friend about their daughter and think that's, I don't know. I'm like...
my father was the king of the inappropriate non sequiturs. He also would tell people...
It's not just inappropriate. Wow.
No, I know. There was one time when we were kids, he took us to the swim club, just him. He took me and my brother to the swim club, and all of our neighbors were like, "Where's Bonnie?" My mother, "Where's Bonnie?" And he's like, "Oh, she has her period, so she stayed home." So then the whole neighborhood knew she had her period in 1976 or whatever year it was.
Wow.
He's just like Megyn Kelly.
I guess
just
that's
like that. So just
why
an
should
ingrained,
you be ashamed, though? You know what I mean?
No
but
filter.
Yeah.
It's a no filter. It's trying to be buddy, trying to look masculine, trying to look like a big man, like, "Hey, I know my wife's cycle." I don't know what the fuck. I honestly, to this day, I don't need to parse it. But what I do know is that Donald Trump is disgusting and is all over the Epstein files and wants to do anything he can to distract from it. And we're not letting that happen. And I love that MAGA is so freaked out right now. They don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do because they've been able to have some kind of deniability up to now because they haven't really seen anything. The release from the House Oversight was nothing that new. The Ghislaine Maxwell interview was edited and it was bullshit. But we're going to hear stuff tomorrow from survivors that we have not heard before.
I don't know. And I'm not as
there's
hopeful.
There are 10 women who are going to stand up there and tell
yeah, I mean, this is like the fact that there even needs to be 10 women. We've been dealing with this for how many years now? This should already be, done and dusted. But
of course,
we're in a very sick timeline, and it doesn't seem to matter how many women talk about Trump. How about the 26 women who've credibly accused this monster of sexual assault.
Right? And he still owes E.G. $100 million.
Exactly. So it just doesn't seem to ever penetrate. And one of the things I saw Michael Wolff talking about with the Epstein files, and it something I didn't think about, he said something about that they will not release the Epstein files, and the fact that they haven't done it to this point proves it. And it also proves that there's something in there that is far more damaging than the political fallout of not releasing them. So it really is sinister because they are getting politically damaged from this, but they know that the damage of releasing it would be far more serious and far more difficult to overcome. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think there can possibly be anything in there about Democrats that would end somebody's career because we would have gotten that already.
Exactly.
Right? We've said this over and over again. We would have gotten the Bill Clinton pages back in 2020 when he was originally running for re-election. So, whatever it is, they're covering up in their, whatever. The court of public opinion is still going to find him guilty when they can't silence those 10 women. They can't redact them. They can't black them out while they're standing there live telling their stories.
Well, what's going to happen? And those stories... Yeah, but is the corporate media is going to do its part, as it always does. It's going to start, and it already has, with the distractions. They will follow it like, a cat with a laser pointer. So they're only going to stay on the Epstein so long, and this is what they know. So they're riding it out, and it might be a little bit longer than they're used to. But you see how the media is already diverting attention. That's why it's good that the survivors are coming out. But it just seems like there's so much timing. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. All right, I want to be proven wrong.
No, the timing is good.
Yeah,
I really want you proven wrong too. I mean, I want a lot of it's because we've been burned so many times, Lucy, in the football, right? We've always, there were so many things that should have ended him. I mean, he should have been ended before.
That's right.
He could have become the nominee in 2016. Yeah. So I don't want to, if we want to go back and do all of that, we can make ourselves insane. But going forward, there are going to be things that people hear that they're not going to be able to unhear. And these are things that are going to stick to him in a different way because it's not the locker room talk. Mm-hmm. And I understand, we have been here before with different things. But because this is a bipartisan moment tomorrow, I think that gives it more legitimacy. That'll give it more weight. And so what we're seeing right now, when I say that the timing is good, Congress is back in session today. So it's absolutely the time to revisit, and boost back up the Epstein files topic and make sure that the mainstream media is reporting on it as we hold them accountable for it. So what I've been doing all summer is newsjacking. And when I see someone who's reporting on something that's not the Epstein files, I'll be like, well, if you think that's bad, you should hear about these Epstein files. And so it's up to us. And I said this in my speech yesterday in Portland, we cannot count on the mainstream media to tell the whole story. So that's why it's important that we're here doing it. And that's why we're so lucky to be able to have this platform and why it matters so much to be supporting independent media now, because we're going to keep telling the truth and it doesn't matter who it's about. We're not going to shy away from truth about a Democrat. We never have. And that's another misconception that they love to push from the right, is that, that and that I don't think that's a weakness that's an actual strength of ours. That's another thing that Democrats could brag about that they don't. Aside from all of the accomplishments that Joe Biden had that they didn't crow about, they also didn't say, you know what, when ours go down, we hold them accountable. Bob Menendez, Michael Avenatti, John Edwards. We are able to call out our own when they do wrong. Andrew Cuomo. We are able to point it out when we're disappointed, when our leaders do wrong by us, as our current leadership continues to be like, I'm going to send a strongly worded letter. Although, and I don't know, you might have seen this because it's not your district, but it is in your city. Jerry Nadler is stepping down.
Yeah.
He's not going to run for re-election. And that's actually my mom's district on the Upper West Side. New York 12 is where my mom and my stepdad live.
Oh, wow.
And he's done a great job. He's a mensch, as Hillary Clinton tweeted. And our friend, Dino Badela, is very seriously considering running for that seat. That's his district.
He should.
I agree. He tweeted and put it on Blue Sky that he would be ferocious. And I agree completely. Not only is Dean brilliant, and his show is amazing, and I hope that you all tune into his Sirius XM show. I pop up there every other Wednesday to do a Bullbuster segment. And hopefully we'll be filling in for him shortly. But he would be an amazing human being to have in the House, because it's really important that our representatives look like the people they represent. And so to have another Muslim, and especially another Muslim man in Congress, I think would be a really great thing and excellent representation, specifically Dean, because he's such a good guy and really has been very, very vocal and at the forefront of pushing the truth and independent media. So anyway, checking in. Do we have an Oval Office appearance? Has that happened? I haven't looked. Anybody? Do we have eyes? Do we have proof of waste of life? As I said before the show, because we got a little proof of waste of life that he's still on this side of the earth, allegedly. So the second anybody knows anything about the Oval Office thing, if you just pop that into the chat, that would be super duper. Did you see the video of somebody's window in the White House? Did you see that video?
See the video? You crapped out there for a second. See the video of what?
Oh no. Yeah, are you telling me my strong Ethernet didn't hold strong? That's bullshit.
All of a sudden, it was a little bit jumpy. So yeah,
I'm gonna blame.
Didn't hear
I'm
what
gonna
you
blame
said
Duke.
when you said, "Did you see?" I didn't hear.
Okay.
The end of that.
Did
sentence.
You see the video of somebody throwing something out of a window at the White House?
No.
Oh, look for that. You should look while we're waiting, because the announcement has been delayed till 2:30. Thank you so much, because they just couldn't get his pants on. I guess they have to hoist him up. They have to get a pulley system to rig him out of his hospital bed. Anyway, somebody threw a black bag of something out of a window from the residence side of the White House. There's video of it.
Out of the window.
And out of the window, which is weird enough. But then you take into consideration that after 9/11, they refortified the windows of the White House so they cannot be opened. And so they would have to have taken those windows out and replaced them with windows that could be opened. So, yeah. There's video of that. Like, what is it? People are like, oh, it smelled so bad in there that they took all of his loaded diapers. The diaper genie was overloaded, and they tossed it all out the window, and it landed kerplunk on his Mar-a-Lago patio. So, Jesus Christ. See, it's just, that's
bizarre.
That's a security breach, 100%, because those windows aren't supposed to open. So there's the question about the window itself being accessible. Who did it? What's in the bag, baby?
So that's the video. Holy shit.
Who picked it up? What's inside? All these, I have lots of questions about all of, I don't trust shit coming from this White House, right? Like that Giuliani story. What the fuck was that Giuliani story about? Giuliani was rear-ended in a weird car accident in New Hampshire.
Oh, please.
But first, he helped a domestic violence victim.
Oh, fuck you.
What?
Really? I mean,
no, he didn't. No.
Please.
No, that makes what? Giuliani doesn't help anybody. Like, what's he doing?
Especially domestic violence. What is he doing? He could barely move himself. He could barely get his own hand down his own pants. He's disgusting.
Exactly. The man is built like a penguin. He's like a weeble. He wobbles, but like what? There's no what? This is bizarre though. Like there's there's not been any explanation from the White House about this. Instead, last night the White House released this weird 11 things sort of in memoriam reel looking back over Trump's achievements. Like he had already died. Like they released an obituary reel. Turns out they stole that idea too. That's not an original idea. It's Errol Mar. It's from the Art of War.
Which
I think
one?
It's called. I know. There's so much going on that you're like, what? Let me go. It's on mine. Let me look at mine. Yep, there it is.
Giuliani, didn't he say he's going to give him the Medal of Freedom? Giuliani.
I mean, isn't that some That's another distracting bullshitty thing because it's one of those like. It's another disgrace. Meaningless accolade for another acolyte.
Well,
so
it's just the way that they just every actual honor they sully with by giving these people that don't deserve to be honored in any way, shape, or form, like Ashley Babbitt. I talked about that on my show on Friday.
Oh
on the
my
Buster.
God!
What a disgrace that they're now going back and giving Ashley Babbitt military funeral honors to honor a traitor who was shot not complying with the Capitol Police order not to jump through a barricade and broken window while Traitor Trump and the mob were trying to overthrow the peaceful transfer of power. So that's how she got shot because of Trump's lies.
She found out.
Yeah.
She fucking found out. Why was she there?
She's a moron who believed Trump's lies. She was not a very honorable person, whether she was in uniform or out of uniform. She served in the Air National Guard. She doesn't deserve honors. She's a traitor, just like, and that's why, I mean, when we get this country back from the madness, that's one thing. Forget it. I don't care if it seems petty. That bitch has got to be stripped of her honors. You can't honor traitors in this country.
No, you
can't. If you want a functioning society,
together. Yeah,
it's just insane.
And I think that's another step from cowardly traitorous cadet Bone Spurs, who actively hates our military because he's jealous of their real bravery. He's I think he's doing everything. Like using the National Guard for his own personal army. That's stupid. You can't do that. It was just ruled unconstitutional. Trying to weaken the appearance of the strength of the Air Force with this distracting bullshit. Weakening our military is something he's always wanted to do. They wouldn't give him a military parade. Fuck you. I'm going to weaken you. And who benefits from the American military being weakened? Let's think about that for a second, Daddy Vladdy. So it's anything Trump can do to make us weaker on the world stage, he will. Anything else that he can do to make us less safe on our own streets, he will. Anything that he can do to kill us faster, he will. This RFK Jr. thing is getting really out of control. More people now have been screaming for his resignation or for him to be fired, because now he's going to start withholding all vaccine guidance, all vaccine information to make sure that we all die as fast as possible from something they can put into the air.
This is what you get when you put kooks in charge. Who needs experts, right? This is right out of Fascism 101, maybe Fascism 201, because it's the fascist brain drain that doesn't recover. Oh. We won't recover from this overnight, because the people from all over the world that used to come here for the top world education, they're not coming here anymore. In fact, other countries have warnings about not just visiting here, but also getting getting an education here. Because why would you get an education in a country that doesn't want to teach reality or science, or is hostile to those things?
Right.
And I'm just, I was telling you before the show, I'm writing an article about all the shithole countries that Republican policies. I mean, if we take Republican policies to their conclusion, to their fruition, and one thing we notice is that Republicans don't want to live under their own policies, because no one cries more when they get what they voted for than maggots in red states. They all want their federal tax dollars. They all want where's my bootstraps? They all like bootstraps, but then, when the bootstraps are here, they want us to come rescue them from the consequences of their choices. And I'm sick of it.
That's right.
Really. And but all around the world, if you want to look at a country that has Republican policies, low taxes or no taxes on the rich, the military can do no wrong, eats up the budget, no abortion, women, know their place, gays in the closet, education is a providence of the rich, and church and state are intertwined. I mean, these are all, stop me when I'm wrong here, when these are not Republican policies. Right?
It's crazy. And he's manufacturing a war with Venezuela, by parking some subs and ships out off of the Venezuelan coast. And you and I were talking about this for a minute before we went on the air. Something that people don't know. And again, there's so much going on. I haven't been able to focus enough on this to understand why he's doing it. Well, one thing that not enough people know is right before he slithered away from office in 2021, one of the last things he did was extend these a visa order protection for a bunch of Venezuelan migrants who had come to the United States, and they were only supposed to be here for a certain amount of time. But then he extended the stay in America thing for them. I forget. It has a real name. I don't remember. But he extended their stay is basically the point. Mm-hmm. And then he left. And one of those Venezuelan migrants is the one who raped and murdered Laken Riley. Oh. But MAGA people don't know that. MAGA people don't know that, and they blame Joe Biden for it, which has nothing to do with Joe Biden, because it happened during his administration. But the only reason that person was in America is because Donald Trump let them stay. So this is why we matter so much, because the mainstream media doesn't tell you enough. And they don't pay attention to anybody that's not just repurposing his lies. So I just think it's really interesting that, we can find these things out really easily. We have the same access to information that MAGA does, and they're the do your own research cult. They're always telling us to do our own research. But then when they put up their own, there's nothing there. There's no food in their food. It's
because they're not we said, sincere. Go get it. They're not trying to solve America's problems. They are the cause of America's problems. And Laken Riley is the updated version of Willie Horton. It's the same situation, because it was Republican policies that freed the Willie Horton that ended up killing whatever the whole it was 1988 election that this part was,
Michael Dukakis.
Yeah. And so this is who they are. They don't let the facts get in the way of a good fearmonger. And they want to turn this country, and they have been very successful at it, and I'm sick of it, making this country stupid and divided and voting for its own demise. And that's why we cannot, when the Republicans in these poorly run red states are bitching and moaning about the consequences of their policies that they voted for, coming home to roost or being enacted in their communities. Don't just go, oh, poor baby. It's time to say, well, this is what you voted for, you dumb fuck.
Exactly.
I'm sick of it.
And people in blue states are talking about something they're calling a soft secession, which is defunding the red states. Stop giving them aid.
I was going to write about that too, soft secession, because one of the things.
Soft secession, it just sounds like an 80s band.
But
they opened for Flock of Seagulls in 84.
Yes. But it's about, it's really true.
But I like that idea.
Yeah, the blue states are the economic engine of the country. So,
That's right.
We can form our own coalition. You want to be the Confederacy? Well, we'll be our own Confederacy of states.
I suggested that soon after the election. I was like, you know what? Because I didn't, you know that I never believed that he won. So, and I still don't, because it's statistically impossible to win all 7 swing states on election night. And it would be great if we had a recount, and that's something else Congress could talk about. It's fine. But I don't even remember what my point was, because I went on that tangent.
Yes.
Soft secession. I suggested that about a week and a half after the election. And what I tweeted was, let Kamala Harris run the blue states, let Donald Trump run the red states, and let's see who's alive and who's dead in a year. I stand by that. I mean, if you want Gavin Newsom to run the blue state coalition, I don't have a problem with that, because he has a lot of experience running the 4th largest economy in the world. But that would be a great way to get the alleged war room that the DNC was supposed to be creating 4 months ago or something, that we've never heard about since. The shadow cabinet. Now's the time for a shadow cabinet and a soft secession, because if we are poised to soon be run by a President J.D. Vance, who is in turn controlled by his gay Nazi daddy, Peter Thiel, we should really be in charge of our own financial system after that. Because I don't want a Nazi billionaire having any control. It's scary enough that Peter Thiel is this close, is literally a heartbeat from the presidency via Vance.
Well, it's just so scary, actually, thinking about what they're up to is destroying the entire Western democratic experiment, not just here in America, but all over the world. They're trying to turn the countries of Earth into a fascist oligarchy with these tech bros at the top, and they openly talk about this, which is so disgusting that that we're being let down yet again by our media that won't talk about it. They just it's so. I guess it's just what you get when you have a consolidated media that doesn't give a shit, and. But as far as the soft secession, it's the same. I mean, one of the things is that would prevent it is the supremacy clause in the Constitution. So, because you can't say, well, we're going to withhold our tax dollars. Well, fucking go around it then. Make a cryptocurrency. These mother effers are really adept at this crypto. Why? Let's make a blue state crypto that we pay our taxes into, that they can't be traced or touched, and then we can have healthcare and education and roads and schools and
what
shit that works.
Well, hey, they're always talking about how the state should be all the power should go to the states. The state should states' rights. States should decide who gets abortions and who gets money and who gets funding and who gets to eat. So I would say blue states are already taking care of our own, and if the welfare queens in the red states want to find out exactly how that's been going, I'm all for it. Yep. I am all for them finding out for themselves, and they're beginning to find out, because food prices nationally are up. They are up in every state. They are up everywhere. Everything is more expensive. Coffee is like the highest one. It's gone up almost 15%.
Because that's what
in
happens.
Prices. She said.
Sometimes you gotta import
as her partner sips coffee.
Exactly.
So, right. Because we don't. I mean, aside from Hawaii, we don't grow coffee in the lower 48. And that there's a lot of things we don't make here that we get from elsewhere. And once again, tariffs are a tax that are passed along to the consumer. And these specific tariffs are all arbitrary tariffs that he pulled out of his butt because he's jealous of Joe Biden. So there's no reason to deliberately tank an economy.
Exactly. But it's like, nobody's saying that tariffs shouldn't be a part of a comprehensive trade deal. Of course they should. But you don't do it like this. You're not a baboon flinging your poop around on a calculation of who's being unfair because you don't fucking fundamentally understand the world economics, much less microeconomics. He doesn't know shit about economics. He's a goddamn serial bankrupt con man who bankrupted a casino, for Christ's sake. So,
multiple casinos,
God,
not just one,
right?
not just one casino. The House always wins unless it's owned by Donald Trump. then the House looks like it was taken over by a Russian Hobby Lobby to decorate the Oval Office. It's so tacky and embarrassing. Speaking of the Oval Office, do we have proof of waste of life in the Oval Office yet? Do we have our announcement? Has it begun yet? Have they strung him up?
Anything?
Is he propped up behind the Resolute desk? It is after the 2:30 moved time. I'm just checking in. I'm just checking in to see if Paw dawdled on down to the office, because we know he usually doesn't show up until noon, at least now. So he's laying in bed, watching his stories, having his meals fed to him intravenously. So
I don't know. I'm not. See anything.
Jim says he's got 2 years of green coffee beans hoarded. We're coming over to your house, Jim. Coming over to your house for coffee.
I should have thought ahead like that. It's a good idea.
I have 2 of those, those large party size containers that Cafe Bustelo comes in. I have 2 of those in this pantry closet thing right behind me. It used to be $15 for that giant bucket of espresso that lasted me a long time because it's just me, and it now is up to $22 for that.
Oh wow!
I know that's a jump, and it's still cheaper than going out and buying a cup of coffee from a Starbucks or a chain every single day, but that's still a significant jump in price from $15 to $22 within a very short period of time. So fuck you, Republicans, because tariffs are bad.
Well, they want to cut everything, but they want to cut the safety net while they're making prices through the roof. They don't want to give anyone a hand up. They don't want to give anyone a goddamn day off to see a doctor.
No.
They want to destroy this country. I know it sounds like. Oh, because I've heard people say, well, you're just like them, saying that, they say you suck, you say they suck. We're bringing the receipts over here. I'm not just. Yeah. It's not like I have an obsession against Republicans. I have an obsession with living in a modern functioning society that works for more than just one effing orange baboon. So I don't know about you.
Well, that's how they troll. That's how they troll, though.
But
they make it about you, and it's stupid. It's stupid.
They don't understand.
Just
No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're right. It's not. It's also that they don't want to understand, and they want to be able to just repeat the same shit over and over again. But I have been employing both Hal Sparks' tactics and John Fugelsang's tactics when it comes to pushing back against the people who are trolling us, and it's working. It's really working. Like, and Hal was with us last Thursday, and we were talking about like the MAGA trolling. He goes, from now on, just respond with, "That's adorable." Mm-hmm. And I started doing that. They don't like that. They really don't like that. And then when John was on with us, we were talking about how he offers suggestions on how to have discussions around the Christianity and the Bible with people who keep misquoting it and using it wrong and all of the things. And one of the questions he suggested that you ask people is, which in your opinion is which of Trump's attributes in your opinion is the most Christ-like? And they don't answer. They don't ever come back after that. It's glorious. I wish I had known it was this easy, like with Newsom and the all caps. Like unlocking what it is that drives them away. Or really makes them mad. Like, you know what? I have a tweet that's like fucking exploded, which is crazy because my account is so suppressed. But what I tweeted, the picture of Trump coming out of the White House looking like he died 4 months ago and nobody told him, side by side with the picture of Biden looking super spry over the weekend in Delaware with his family. Clean hands, slender ankles, looking spry. And all I wrote was, and I knew it would trigger, I didn't realize it would trigger this much, but I wrote the media and George Clooney owe Joe Biden an enormous apology. And people are like, no, we don't. No, they don't. No, they. I'm like, yes, they fucking do. Because if they barraged Trump with the kinds of questions about his health like they did with Biden, maybe we would have some real answers. I mean, I don't know if we would have real answers from this White House, but at least they would be asking the questions.
I know.
Like,
yeah.
Ask the questions. What's wrong with him? Why do his hands look like they're either covered with shit or with a glob of makeup that no one has taught him to blend? Well, the man is 79. Yeah. Learn how to blend your makeup, Paw.
Well, what about the so-called assassination attempt, which was, of course, not an assassination attempt.
Not one.
That we never saw a medical report for. We got a paragraph from a so-called doctor that didn't even have a license at the time and was demoted when he was in the military because he was passing out drugs. So could you imagine if Joe Biden was there was an assassination attempt against the president, and he wasn't even, well, against Joe Biden, let's just put it that way, and the media would just be satisfied with half a paragraph by somebody who's not even a goddamn doctor, who's just a Democrat, just a political hack, supporting the president, and then he shows up with that fucking Kotex on his head.
Maxi pad.
You know what
Jesus
I mean?
Christ.
And we never hear anything again. And a week later, and even days later, actually, there was an article a woman wrote who got a close up and said there was like nothing there. So if you got shot with a bullet from an assault weapon, you wouldn't have an ear. So
or half your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you ask the kids who got slaughtered in the church school last week?
Exactly.
Nothing left.
We get but there's no follow up on that, except and now Trump is tweeting how unfair it is that people are asking about his health. They never asked about Joe Biden. I mean, about fucking the living in bizarro world. Exactly.
Are you kidding me? The day after the debate.
Never stopped.
You could. Oh my God, I will never forget the first time he was in public after the debate. The press was just screaming questions at him.
It never stopped.
Standing there, and they were like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "What? I had a sore throat. I'm fine.
Exactly.
I had a sore throat."
The cancer.
They were focused.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And
they focused on his voice being hoarse instead of the words that he said in the debate,
and that
which
he
were actually
walked
really
slower.
effective. Mm-hmm. Oh no, really? Really? An older man walks slower than a younger man, but a man who, by the way, can still ride a bike, whether or not.
That's right. I'd like to see Trump ride a fucking bike. And we had a president in a wheelchair, for fuck's sake, who did more for this country.
That would never happen now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Than anyone. That we're still living in FDR's world. People are still out of poverty because of a Democratic president who was in a fucking wheelchair. And, thank you very much, Republicans. And that's what really pisses me off, is that they don't have the manners, the decency, the maturity to say thank you. And this is why, what do parents do when their child is not behaving properly and don't have the manners, the maturity to say thank you? You correct that child, and you say, say thank you. This is how you respect each other. You say thank you when somebody gives you something, and that's what we need to start doing with these effing poorly run red states, because clearly they're emotionally stunted adolescents, to put it mildly, and they're out of control, and they don't have the manners or the decency to say thank you. I mean, the fact that they even have the nerve to say, talk about the crime rate in blue states when they're poorly run red states
out of control.
Are the murder capitals of the entire country and the world, and awash with all kinds of guns and poverty and all of it's the perfect storm of crime in these red states. So give us all a break with your and for them to say that they're going to activate their National Guard and send them to blue states, when all the time we had to hear all about how Democrats are going to come in and take over their states. If only. You wish you should be that lucky, you filthy Republicans.
Right?
You really.
I
I'm so
mean,
sick of them.
the soft secession is sounding better and
It
better
really
by the minute.
does. I've been saying it for years. Even
It
though I
makes
have friends
sense.
in red states, and I say I'm very sorry, but you can move. I got a
Yeah,
couch. You
no.
can, but it's and I like my friend Robin, who is trans, and she lives in West Virginia, and she's living
Oy.
in this exactly. That's what I'm saying. But and taking her freaking life in her hand every goddamn day. But loves West Virginia. I don't know why. I don't understand. I was there in West Virginia. It's a very beautiful state in parts. Yes, she showed me around. It's beautiful. There's nice Purple Mountains majesty that haven't been
Sure.
maybe, but they have been. That's why the coal industry is like blown the fucking tops off of them and shit. I mean,
Right.
it's just. But the point is, yes, it's beautiful, but like, where's the love back? And this is why we have to get these people, get a grip, because these red states have not always been red states. For years, they were Democratic strongholds, and they changed since the Telecommunications Act because of fucking propaganda. That is really the point. And of course, when
Right.
Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act, then a lot of the racists, they went to the Republican Party, of course, right? But
Right. Well,
yeah, but we've allowed that, and it just these red states are the case in point that propaganda works. That's basically it, and we have to really get them to get a grip about it and stop being so nice. Stop being so nice about it. I'm not nice, but I'm talking about like
No.
Joe Biden was nice. He's always like bipartisan this, even calling it the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Why? Because like a fucking couple of Republicans weren't completely lost causes? No, you don't. I mean, would they ever do that for the Democrats? Never. And then Joe Biden would go around saying, "Oh, my friend over here, he helped this and that." Like encouraging them to be adults as if they were going to grow up all of a sudden and be like, yeah, I guess we do want to function in a democracy. They don't want to. You got to you got to drag them kicking and screaming. And that's why we don't need a Republican Party. This is a death cult that has to go the way of the Whigs quick. And what will happen is the Democratic Party will break up into factions. That's what will happen, and that's fine. But all of those factions,
I mean, as long as,
but all of those factions will love democracy. You understand what I'm saying? They are all
as long as are on the same side of that.
Yes, that's what has to happen.
No.
If we're not living in a society anymore where Republicans have an interest in a functioning, constitutionally limited democratic republic. Look at what they're doing. They just try to disappear these kids in the middle of the night. They fucking woke up these migrant children that were here unaccompanied. Whether good or bad, whoever sent them here, these are children, for fuck's sake. They woke them up in the middle of the night.
About children.
Exactly, and because of this is who they are. They're evil. And could you imagine? You wake them up on a holiday weekend in the middle of the night. That's how you do your filthy work, you fascists, and drag them to a tarmac, get them on a plane, and only by the fact that they woke up the judge in the middle of the night that this was stopped, that they were just going to send these children to, I don't remember where it was. It was, another, I'm not sure if it was El Salvador. I have to look it up. But no one was waiting for them. No one was, I mean, it's just fucking evil.
How terrifying. Those poor children are so traumatized.
Without due process. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, give them fucking due process. Give them the light of day. But they don't. Don't.
But do you know what their due process would look like? It would be a 2-year-old trying to defend himself, sitting there in a courtroom alone.
Right. Yeah, they don't. They wouldn't
footage of that too.
Yeah,
they don't even give them They don't even give them a legal aid lawyer or anything like that.
That's right.
Okay, we are still watching. There's still no activity from the Oval Office. We are 50 minutes past the hour. They already moved it to 2:30. This is just typical also of Republicans. They think their time is more important than anybody else's, and they can just keep people
they never
waiting.
start on time. That never does. So yeah,
like rock star time when rock stars are supposed to show up, and is always like 20 minutes late, always. So But and we may not get the Oval Office before we sign off,
don't
which is
think
fine, because
I
don't need to have him. I don't know. I'm not. He's on CNBC, says Heidi. CNBC. He's there. Oh, it's happening. It's happening now. It's happening right now. We are going.
It is happening. I don't know where it is, though. Where is it?
I don't know. Allegedly, CNBC is carrying it, according to Heidi.
Who cares?
Oh, Julie, I wish
fucking
it was
Space Force bullshit. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay. President Trump announces Space Force Command will move headquarters from Colorado to Alabama. Whoopie doopie. Whoopie fucking doopie. That's great.
Then another failed red state can fail another one of your programs. Yeah, right. Failure.
All of those.
That's the big announcement.
Yeah.
I did say that earlier in the show, that it was one of several things, like The Guardian was reporting that. That is something that has occurred, but that is not worthy of an Oval Office announcement. That is not worthy of it's a shitty, dumb move to try to reward like the worst of the red states. Isn't Alabama like at the very bottom of all the red states?
Yeah. So is that why he's moving it from Colorado?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe he's doing it.
Petty bitch.
Maybe he's doing it to reward Tommy Tuberville.
Probably. Something is in there
for its loyalty. Yeah. He's just taking things from blue states that he can.
Yes.
So took it out of Colorado, which means he's taking jobs out of Colorado. He's taking away jobs from locals in Colorado and moving those jobs to Alabama.
Yeah, because it's
where
they
will not have as many.
Throats. That's the way it is.
Right. So. And I'll posit that there are not enough programs in Alabama to train people to be tech savvy enough to run a space program of any kind.
Right.
They would have to recruit them from other states.
Yep.
So they'll still be recruiting to Alabama from the creme de la creme, probably from the blue states, because that's where the smart people live.
Well, what happens.
What is this? This is just stupidity, though. How is this on the same par at all with Epstein? It's not. This isn't a worthy enough distraction. This is weak. Tell me in the chat, because I'm not looking right now, but how shitty ass does he look? Extra propped up? They've made him stand up. Look at him.
I don't want to hear his voice. Look at J.D. Vance. Look at his fucking eyeliner.
Look at him.
Look at all these underwhelming white whiny bitches.
Hegseth. He's got Hegseth and Burchett. And who's the bald guy?
Who's that guy? Just some bald guy.
He's surrounded by his sycophants is where he is, and his probably Katie Britt is in there because she's from Alabama. That's just a guess. Is she in there too? Sucking up, doing her trad wife, Trump trad wife
and that's
routine?
What I'm talking about. What we're
with
saying
her
about
cross
soft,
on.
Yeah, but with soft secession, like go fuck yourself. This is the other thing. Let's point out that because of the poorly run red states that do nothing for the people they pretend to represent, the bulk of the infrastructure, the money from the infrastructure bill and every other, the Inflation Reduction Act went to these red states because they let their infrastructure crumble while doing nothing but passing divisive bathroom bills and whatnot. So, but this is the exact opposite of that, as you see. So he's taking, because Colorado is a blue state, he's taking jobs and opportunities out of Colorado and moving it to this shithole Alabama, where the service people who are, I know that Pete Hegseth is a bitch who hates women in uniform because he's a fragile little underwhelming child. So
he hates women. He thinks it's okay to beat us.
Exactly.
And now he's going to speak. He's going to be suppressing a lot of whiskey sour burps. And there's Tuberville. So, and there's Kate. You see, I called it all. Yeah, this is such a performance for MAGA.
Mm-hmm. But all the women in uniform who go to Alabama are not going to be able to get any kind of reproductive health care in Alabama because this is what they're doing. They're not. They're barring service members from even going to other states to get.
He's just such a punchable face,
isn't he?
Like all Nazis. All Nazis have punchable
they're just
faces.
Unfit. Everything is bluster. It's
if
nothing
they
real.
I don't know if they're going to be taking questions or not, but there won't be any questions about Epstein, I guarantee, because they'll have their plants there to go to.
Well,
and no one's going to ask about what's happening tomorrow.
But the White House press corps, and this is why I say I don't know why there are any normal, if there are any normal media outlets there, they're all these Russian-funded propagandists. Like, what's his face? Benny Johnson has a pass.
Benny Johnson and Tim Pool.
Yeah, these are all Russian
all of those
traitors.
See, I called it. There she fucking is. I swear, it's like I might know things about politics, partner. I don't know. This is why.
Did I ever say you didn't?
No. I'm just saying.
Of Americans first.
You and
Americans
first is put first, and we want to make sure that
America
continues to lead. And today,
I just knew. I wanted to tune in for 1 second.
It makes me want to say the C word really loud.
Well, I knew that they're all going to have to kiss his ass for.
Thank you.
Thank
you to King Trump for bringing more jobs to Alabama and our military.
Secretary has said, we're not behind in space, but we know where we're at.
We got space. I look right up and I see space.
Oh my fucking God! We're dying down here.
80 million.
I don't want to go to space, everybody.
Why don't you all get on one of Elon's rockets and Sissy SpaceX can drive you all to Mars? Okay?
F off to Mars, baby. Go.
If you don't want to be here,
that's the thing.
Take your trad wife, grow your shit potatoes like Matt Damon in The Martian, and get the fuck out of my face.
I mean,
get
look
your
at her.
trad wife bullshit out of my government. She's like, if I could give you my dry vagina, I would. I can't with them. I cannot.
And look at J.D.
Vance. This makes me angry. And all of this makes me angry because there will be spin on this. There will be bullshit around this. There will be no accountability. No one's going to ask him about the Epstein files. And you and I have sat here for an hour saying truthful things that the media does not. The media will not say
Thank you. I'll be very brief here. I lobbied the president hard to put it in Ohio, but he said these people behind us, these Alabamans are just too
hard.
I put my couch
harder than
in Alabama, but as
I
Thomas
get
said,
with
this
my
is
wife.
exactly the right place for Space Force and Space Command. I think Americans ought to appreciate it.
Go get a touch up on your
You
eyeliner,
can't win the battle of the future unless you control the skies.
Control the skies. Get me out of here. Get me out, please. Where are the aliens to take over? This is not working out.
I would like to go away with them. This is okay. So in the last couple of minutes that we have, I'm going to we have a wonderful, thank you, Jim, for being here, by the way. Thank you for your moderation. We have a nice, lively chat today. Thank you, everybody, for being there, being invested in the truth and in furthering our democracy. That is why we gather in the way that we do. That's why we are invested in continuing to tell you the truth, which is why I haven't pulled a Lindy Lee to go to the other side to make millions of dollars in grifted dollars. I will not do that. But what I will also tell you is that we are not funded the way the right wing is funded. We don't have the backing. There's no big corporate PAC backing us up with deep, deep pockets. That story that's been circulating about the group that created the Democratic group Chorus, saying that they're paying influencers $8,000 a month.
Are they?
Yeah.
What can I
don't
get
know.
Mine?
I know, right? Oh, we're the boys in the chorus. We hope you like our show. That's what I think every time I see that. But anyway, no one's paying me $8,000 a month for any reason. Nobody. No one has ever paid me that much money. Never. I don't think I've ever, I mean, in the past, maybe I had that saved, but not no longer. So what I'm going to say now is there's a reason our Venmos are up there. If you have the means to drop a couple of bucks into the Venmo or give us a super chat for a cup of coffee, sign up for our Substacks at the lowest paid levels. Just helping make sure that we stay afloat to continue to tell you the truth as the corporate media would rather not. So, and that's why I get frustrated. Like, I'm out here all the time screaming the truth, like, especially about Epstein for over all of this time. And it's like, we're doing this into the abyss, but we're not. Because you guys are here with us, and you're here, and we will be back here on Thursday, same time, And also on Thursday, Devlin and I will be rejoining our pal John Fugelsang on his Sirius XM show, which we'll talk about again on Thursday and remind everybody. But your support is how we are literally keeping the lights on. So thank you so much for every single one of you that's here. Please keep sharing the show and our Substacks. And make sure you're also tuned into the Terror Busters on the Friday nights. And we are here for you all the time. And we thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
All right, guys. See you soon.
Buy my book. Buy my book. TyraDublinRocks.com.